Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Fabrizio Romano reveals how much Borussia Dortmund want for Jadon Sancho. He will cost around 77.4 million to 81.7 million. We have been handed a boost in our pursuit of Jadon Sancho. Borussia Dortmund are ready to sell early in the summer transfer window. Fabrizio Romano also mentioned, by the way, that Man United are still interested in signing him. Bundesliga journalist Konstantin Enker said that Man United have reached an agreement in principle with Jadon Sancho, but he did mention that no bid has yet been made. The other day, he said that Man United were set to launch an £85 million bid. The personal terms with Jadon Sancho have been agreed. And he said we prefer Jadon Sancho over Harry Kane. As far as I'm aware, we're no longer in for Harry Kane. Borussia Dortmund have already told Jadon Sancho that he can leave the club this summer, and Solskjaer made him a transfer priority. Jadon Sancho said he wants his future resolved before the start of the Euros. Jadon Sancho has Man United transfer hopes, as Borussia Dortmund are looking for replacements. I think they have actually identified their replacement for Sancho. Sky Sports said recently that Man United do remain in talks with Jadon Sancho's representatives, and Man United is the most realistic destination for Sancho. Earlier on this year, Borussia Dortmund did confirm that they've got a gentleman's agreement with Sancho that will allow him to depart Dortmund this summer. The Manchester Evening News said that Sancho is pushing for a transfer out of Dortmund. But Sancho did say quite a few weeks ago he loves the prospect of joining Manchester United. Dortmund have lowered their asking price, because last year Dortmund were demanding £108 million and we was reluctant to meet their £108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. Last year, Sancho to Man United was extremely close. You know, the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and a contract had been agreed. Fabrizio Romano has spoken a hell of a lot about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga, and before, Christian Fartman Build spoke a lot about it. Dortmund said we had until the 10th of August last year to sign Sancho. We missed out on that deadline, so Sancho remained at Dortmund. Sancho has endured 4 years at Dortmund. Analysing the vast majority of his career, he's been very, very consistent, but he has endured a couple of bad periods. Dortmund paid just £7 million for him from Man City, and he's under contract with Dortmund until 2023. But he'll be a great signing for Manchester United. The reasons is because he'll fit in our team perfectly. He will assure us goals. He's good at creating chances. Still young, got a lot of development in him. He will exceed expectations in the Premier League, and he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. They do talk to each other a lot. I think Solskjaer said not so long ago that he believes Sancho would be enough to make Man United competitive again. I've got to disagree with him in that aspect. We need more than Jadon Sancho. But we have been in for him now for like the last 2 years, so it's been a long running transfer saga. Raphael Varane, you already know the news on him. Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that Raphael Varane is refusing a new contract at Real Madrid to obviously join Manchester United this summer. He says Man United have offered Raphael Varane a 5-year contract, plus we've offered to increase his wages. Now, recently, he said that Raphael Varane is available for €40 million, which is a bargain. Man United and PSG have already made offers for Varane because it's impossible for Real Madrid to meet his demands. With Ancelotti returning to Real Madrid, that could have handed us a boost in our pursuit of Varane. Varane recently rejected Manchester United in favour of a move to PSG. And Defensor Central said not so long ago that Man United and Chelsea are prepared to double his wages. Raphael Varane's already spoke out on his future. He said it's unlikely his future will be resolved for the summer's European Championships. Romano did say towards the end of last season though that Varane is the main name on our list, and we was waiting to see what happened with his situation at Real Madrid. Man United have obviously held talks with Raphael Varane's representatives. Real Madrid did reject a £40 million bid not so long ago because initially they was demanding £60 million. Varane said last season though he's keen on a move to the Premier League. At one point Chelsea were the favourites to sign him. We went in for Varane 10 years ago under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but we missed out on him. Oh, it'd be a great signing for us. The reasons is because he's regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He'd complement Harry Maguire very well in our back line. He's highly experienced. He would exceed expectations in the Premier League, and he's got a good pedigree as a player. He's won 18 major honours at Real Madrid. Being a long servant at Real Madrid, he's enjoyed 10 years with them. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions. Real Madrid got Varane from Lens back in 2011. They paid just €10 million. But Man United still want the centre-half, despite Eric Bailly signing a new contract towards the end of last season. Now, you know the news on Kieran Trippier from Atletico Madrid. Narratives have been coming out saying that Man United revive interest in Kieran Trippier because Solskjaer is unhappy with Wan-Bissaka's attacking output. So we're basically looking for someone to give Wan-Bissaka competition. We was interested in Kieran Trippier in the January transfer window, but we cooled our interest because Kieran Trippier got banned by FIFA for 8 weeks for breaching betting rules. Kieran Trippier will cost us under £20 million. Atletico Madrid paid £20 million for him from Tottenham. His current contract with Atletico Madrid expires next year. Obviously, he won the La Liga with Atletico Madrid last season. Don't forget, Kieran Trippier was part of the Tottenham squad when Tottenham got to the Champions League final in 2019. Also, before, he's had 2 loan spells at Barnsley. He's been at Burnley. Well, at one point he was on loan with Burnley, then obviously Burnley got him permanently. He started his career at Man City. He came up their academy, but actually never made an appearance in their first team. Kieran Trippier is the age of 30. On my last video, I give you the news, didn't I, on Paul Pogba and Cristiano Ronaldo. Juventus are interested in bringing Paul Pogba back, but they will have to sell Cristiano Ronaldo to afford Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba's price tag is £90 million. But not long now until the summer transfer window opens. It opens on the 9th of June. I'm really looking forward to the summer transfer window. I'm expecting Man United to be very active. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of how big the summer transfer window is going to be for himself and Manchester United in general. It's very imperative that Solskjaer gets the players he wants to recommend in. The summer transfer window will be his 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. Solskjaer said he wants to make around 4 world-class signings in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. I think we can challenge for the title next season, providing that we recruit well in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer has been given a £150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players, and the board will back Solskjaer with a new 3-year contract and summer signings despite the Europa League final loss. And players are obviously going to leave Man United in the summer transfer window, so in that aspect will generate money and it will help us with our rebuilding process. Next season is going to be massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think he's aware of that. I reckon next season Solskjaer has got to win a trophy at Man United if he is to remain Manchester United manager. If things start to go wrong next season, then I think the pressure will be on him and then he'll end up getting sacked. If we do eventually decide to sack Solskjaer though, who's going to come in to replace him? That's the question. I'd want someone in with the big club arrogance and someone, with a proven pedigree. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy for 4 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. But there is some Man United fans that are Ollie out. reflecting on that Europa League final loss to Villarreal not so long ago. There was a lot of United fans that were Ollie out anyway before the Europa League final. But I presume there's still a lot of United fans that are Ollie in, and they believe that he needs more time at the club. He does deserve next season. Because I think Solskjaer has done a good job. I didn't expect him to do as well as he has done. So in that aspect, I am shocked. But I can assure Ollie he's not the long-term manager for Manchester United. Whether he succeeds as Man United manager or not, we'll still always adore him because he is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Ferguson's guidance. Solskjaer's been Manchester United manager now almost 13 months. So that's over 2 years. And he's endured 2 full seasons at Man United. So obviously next season will be his 3rd full season. But he is really lucky to be Manchester United manager. A lot of managers at certain clubs that lost the Europa League final, probably would have been sacked if they hadn't have won a trophy prior to that. But our board have got a soft stance on Ollie. Ollie has just under a year left on his current 3-year contract that he signed back in March 2019 when he got the job permanently. My 2 biggest concerns about Ollie is that he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, and his decision making concerns me because in a lot of his games at Man United he has been tactically naive. Solskjaer knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. He appointed him in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. A lot of United fans thought we made a mistake giving him the job permanently. Maybe we should have waited until the end of that particular season to decide or not whether he is the right candidate. But I understand us giving him the job permanently because he was superb as the interim manager. But obviously it's a different kettle of fish when you get the job permanently. And then when he got the job permanently, everything started to go wrong. We've had as good periods under Ollie and we've also had as bad periods. Solskjaer has spent almost £300 million so far as Manchester United manager, and he's endured 4 transfer windows. A lot of the players he's brought in, he's obviously brought Daniel James in, brought Wan-Bissaka in, brought Harry Maguire in, brought Bruno Fernandes in. He did bring Odi Nagalo in on loan, but he left in January. He also brought Donny van der Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Amad Diallo Traore and Facundo Pellistri. We loaned Facundo Pellistri out in January. Solskjaer has got rid of around 13 players, since he's come in. We've seen the likes of Valencia leave, seen Ashley Young leave, seen Smalling leave, and they were all on-serving players at Man United. We saw Matteo Darmian leave, saw Herrera leave, saw Fellaini leave. Saw Sanchez leave, saw Lukaku leave, saw Angel Gomez leave. We have, saw Timothy Fosu-Mensah leave, saw Rojo leave in January. We've also loaned quite a few players out. We loaned Lingard out to West Ham. We loaned Tiedemann Mengi out in January. We loaned Diego Dalot out. We loaned Andres Pereira out. And obviously we're looking to get rid of them 2 permanently. We loaned James Garner out, didn't we, at one point? One point as well, we loaned Dylan Levitt out. We loaned Tahith Chong out. Dishan Bernard. I think we loaned Joe Pereira out again, didn't we? So there you go. Solskjaer did well in a lot of aspects last season. Got us a second place finish in the Premier League. Wasn't an achievement, but you can see that progress was made from Ole Solskjaer's first full season. Last season went the entire season without losing away from home in the Premier League, which is a good record. Solskjaer got us to the Europa League final last season. I know we didn't win it, but he's still got to give him credit for getting us to the final. It was his first major final as Man United manager. He also got us to the FA Cup quarter-final. He got us to the EFL Cup semi-final. In his first full season, got us to 3 semi-finals and got us a third place finish. I like the way Solskjaer has promoted the youth. And another thing I've got to credit him for, when he got appointed in as Man United manager, he assured everybody would get their chances to express themselves, including the young players, and more or less everybody has been given their chances. But yeah, Solskjaer, I like his honesty as well. He did say last season wasn't a successful season for Man United, and he accepted that. So there you go. But Ole is our best manager since Ferguson. In the last 8 years, nothing's really changed at Manchester United, has it? We've been playing a lot of catch-up. Sacked 3 managers since Ferguson retired. That was Moyes, Van Gaal and Mourinho. And we haven't really got the structure to keep sacking managers because we're not really known as a sacking football club. We've overpaid for players in recent years. Our recruitment's been poor. And in that aspect, the blame stems from the board. The board's been one of the biggest problems at the club for a long time. We've only won, 4 trophies since Ferguson retired. Haven't won the league since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. Spent over £1 billion as well since Ferguson. We must have brought around 37 players in since Ferguson retired. Mistakes have been made though in the last 8 years, so that's why we've been nowhere near as consistent as we'd like to have been. The good news is, from a Man United perspective, that Woodward is standing down at the end of the year, because it got announced earlier on this year that he resigned as Manchester United Vice Chairman. Being critical of Woodward for a long time, Woodward's had a 16-year association with Man United. Woodward did say though last season that he believes Solskjaer's the right man to lead the club forward, and he did release a statement saying that the progress by Solskjaer and the players is clear. Obviously we've been trying to get the Glazers out of the football club. Towards the end of last season there was a lot of protesting going on at Old Trafford against the Glazers. The Glazers have put Manchester United in so much debt. And I hate the way we've been run now for such a long time. The Glazers have been at Man United 16 years. They bought the club for $500 million back in 2005. I think Joe Glazer is going to be attending the fans forum tomorrow. Not so long ago, Joe Glazer wrote a letter to Man United fans, and Avram Glazer refused to apologise over the European Super League towards the end of last season because Sky News caught up with him in Florida. Solskjaer did say at the beginning of May that the Glazers apologised to him. He said the violent instance went too far, but he says the club need to take notice of the fans because you can understand the fans' frustration. And at one point, Solskjaer was angry with Gary Neville over the Man United protests. He said last season the Glazers could be forced to sell Man United, but for only £4 billion. Before that, he said that the Glazers have got no intentions of selling the club. So we have got to recommend new owners in, and obviously we need to recommend a new chairman in. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.